Hello, Mr. Fry's Algebra 1 class. I'm looking at this. He refers to it as the Exponent Rules Worksheet. It's Unit 6, Homework 5, Monomials, All Operations. This is not due until Friday the 9th. I think you're going to get it on the 8th. Today's the 7th, but he just posted it, so thought I'd put it out there. If you need help with the ones that I don't do, you can go to wolframalpha.com. That's WOLFRAMALPHA.com. Specifically, if you just want to, throw it in your address bar, byjus.com / monomial dash calculator and slash. So I guess that would be a / not a backslash. So anyways, yeah, if you just type that in, it'll take you right there. In fact, I think I have it still up. When you do go to it, it'll look like that. And don't mess around with this too much. Just hit simplify. He has an example there. And when you hit simplify, what's going on? Well, let me see. When you hit simplify, when you first go to it, let me see, my own calculator. Maybe I waited too long. There we go. This will pop up, and then you can go in here and change this. Just backspace it. Just make sure you're using parentheses, closed brackets. That's parentheses to separate each term. If you need help with, trying to solve some of these that I don't solve. I did more than half, so here we go. Let's get started. So we're just simplify the following monomials, and your answer should contain all positive exponents only. So remember, when you have negative exponents, the exponent's only negative. Don't worry about this coefficient being negative. That can be negative. But when the exponents are negative, you have to put it down below, make it into a fraction. I'll talk about that as we get to them. So the first one is very easy. You're just combining like terms, and this happens to be an A3B2. This is an A3B2 also, so we can take 3 minus 5, and we get negative 2, A3B2. When you do this one, the only two you could put together are the plane XYs, these two. This one you just leave alone. Just bring it on down after you add the 5 plus the 2. So it would be 7xy minus 2x squared y would be your answer. Okay, this one, subtract negative 2w from negative 6w. So I'm subtracting this from this, so you start with that. Subtracting a negative turns it into a positive. Combining like terms, these are just both regular w's. They're not w squared or anything like that. So, 1's not w squared. So if there was 1 w squared, I would have to leave this. I couldn't go any further. But since they are both just plain old w's, I can take the negative 6 plus 2 and get negative 4. So negative 4w. When you multiply exponents, the terms, you just, you bring a, just stays a, and then you add the exponents when you're multiplying. So 4 plus 3 would be 7. Right here you're just adding, so you're still going to have that. A negative, so this is actually a negative 1, so change that to a positive, and then 5 plus 2 would be 7. Because when you square a negative, it becomes positive. Okay, when you have a division problem, a fraction like this, 9, you take it and you subtract the exponent. So 9 minus 5 is 4, so you have K4. Okay, 7, I'm taking negative 5 times a negative 3, and that becomes 15. And then I can just add my exponents, so I have x7. Try 8 on your own. Number 9. I'm taking, and this is where we get into negative exponents, and we move it down below the line. 2 times 5 is 10. I have a negative 5 and a 2. That gives me negative 3. And I have 6 plus 2 gives me 8. Okay, remember we add the exponents when we're multiplying. Now, I can't leave it like this, right? So my final answer is right here. The 10 stays above the line and the B8 stays above the line because they're positive. I can't have negative exponents in the directions. Contain only positive exponents. So you move this below the line and you can then get rid of the negatives, so it becomes a to the third power. So that's your final answer circled. Number 10. Negative 4 squared is 16. And then I have my y and I take my 4. And here I'm multiplying. Was I supposed to multiply that? No. Well, yeah, exponent to an exponent. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of, when I multiply these, I'm actually adding them. But this is taking an exponent and raising it to an exponent. So here's where we start multiplying. Sorry about that. So that becomes 4 times 2, and that becomes 8. And this you actually square. So I'm not squaring the 4, I'm just multiplying it 4 times 2. This I'm actually squaring, the negative 4 squared to the second power. So that would be negative 4 times negative 4, which is 16. Try 11 on your own. 16, or 12, sorry. The first step I'm going to do is everything to get rid of that negative 3, all of this is going to move down below. And then when I complete this, 6 to the third power is 216. C, I have 1 to the 1, so 3 times 1 is 3. And then D, negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. But because it's negative 3 and I have to have positive exponents, I move it above. Since it's negative down here, I move it across, and then that gets rid of the negative. So that's how you get rid of negative exponents. Just move them, like this one, if it's above the line, you move it below the line. If it's below the line, you move it above the line. So my final answer should look like that. 13. I'm going to take both of these and put them below the line because they're negatives, right? That's not a negative there. That's just an ugly 3. Sorry about that. So now that they're both below here, I take 3 and I cube the 4. So 4 times 4 times 4 gives me 64. And then 3 times 1a is just going to be 3. So I have 3 plus 4 because they're both a's here. 3 plus 4 is going to give me 7a. And it's all below because these were negative exponents. Number 15. I am going to take the a and put it below. The first step, I'm going to take the a and put it below because it had a negative 1 exponent. That just leaves it a to the first power. And c, it was a negative 3, so I'm going to take that and put it below the line so that I can get rid of the negative. Now I'm just dealing with positives, and I can get to work now. 4 to the third power is going to be 64, and then 5 times 3 is 15. So that's my b exponent now. And then I do the same with down below. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 3 is going to be 9 for my c. Okay, 16. Well, I'm going to do 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. And then I'm with a division problem. Remember, I'm just going to subtract. So like we did in number 6, 9 minus 5 was 4, right? Well, 8 minus 10 is negative 2. Well, that screws up my d. My d to the negative 2 power, I put below the line, leave the 3 above the line because it's, it just stays there. 3 and the d, 3 over d to the second power is my final answer to get rid of that negative exponent because I wasn't allowed to have any negative exponents. 18. 32 divided by negative 8 gives me negative 4. I just leave that. I don't have to put it as a fraction or anything like that because that's not the exponent. That's just the number. Remember, it's just negative exponents I can't deal with. I have to move those across the line. So 3 minus 1 is 2 for my x's, x exponents. 2 minus 1 is 1, so I just have y to the first power, just leave it just as y. And then 5 minus 2 is 3 when I'm dealing with division of exponents. Just subtract them. Notice no negatives here, so I don't have to draw a line and put it underneath to make it look like a fraction. I just leave it. That's my final answer. Number 19. I'm going to do this first on top. So 2 to the 4th power is 16. That would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then 5 times 4 is 20, so y becomes y to the 20th power. Now I can do my division and subtraction. So 16 over 10 goes down to, I can simplify it to 8 over 5. I just divide both the top and the bottom by 2. And I get 8 over 5. And then y, 20 minus 15 is 5. And it's not negative, so I didn't have to put it down here. I just leave it up on the top. Okay, so that's final answer for number 19. Number 20, I'm going to take care of this whole part first. And so first of all, I'm going to take care of the numerator and do the squaring of all of this stuff here. So negative 6 squared is 36. A to the 5th power, so times 2, is going to give me 10. B to the 1st power times 2 gives me just b to the 2nd power. And the bottom all stays the same, right? So now I can do this. I can do my division. 36 divided by 12 gives me 3. 10 minus 7 gives me a to the 3rd power, and 2 minus 1 gives me b to the 1st power. So I have this. This whole first part that I circled becomes 3a cubed b. 3a cubed b minus 8a cubed b. Notice that now I can do subtraction because they are like terms. They both are a cubed b, okay? So now I could do 3 minus 8. What is 3 minus 8? Negative 5, a cubed b. And I'm done. That's a 3 there. I know it's kind of ugly, but make it a little bit better for you. All right, good luck with the other ones. Like I said, use that website that's up there if you want help. And, try some of the ones the ones that I did, in order to get, you put in parentheses in there correctly. Don't forget it. You have to really watch what you're doing for it to come out nice and clean. So try the middle ones on your own, and good luck.